no finish, them want fight us. If them they run, them no fit catch up. I know they from say I too righteous. No come they from say you do like us. They no get it time, but they hate and they bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady gain like broccoli. Steady on my grind, no one hear what they want. Telling me could deny my fantasy. Then when they check if my tabby no rush. But it is rush, it is rush.
To make this, you will need 1.5 yards of fabric. It's either you use African fabric or you use chiffon, crepe. All those type of fabrics will be nice for it. But for today, I'm using this chiffon to make this. I'll be using my pattern paper. Now, if you're stopping at this tutorial, this particular one on the thumbnail, you can make this direct on your fabric. But I'm using this pattern paper because of the next tutorial I'm going to be making next. I will drop that. I will drop the picture above. That's why I'm making this pattern, so that I will use the same pattern and make that particular one. But if you're not making that particular video and you're making this one, you don't need to work on the pattern paper. You can work straight on your fabric. Now, this line I have here is my chest length, which is 10 inches. I'm going to fold my fabric into two like this. And this will be for the front and the other one will be for the back. Now, mind you, this chest length that I have drawn out, you don't necessarily need it, but I need it for the next tutorial that I'm making. That's why I left. Next is our armhole length. So round your armhole length, whatever that gives you, divide that by 2, and whatever it gives you, minus 1 from that, and that will be your armhole length. Like say your armhole length is 16 inches, divided by 2 will give you 8 inches. You minus 1 from that, it will give you 7 inches. That's what you are going to take down here. My own is 8 inches, and I'm going to take it here. So I'm going to connect this line. So from here to here is my armhole. Let me write it, armhole. And this is the chest line. Next thing I will get is the neck width. The neck width I'm working with is 2.75. I'll mark it here. And the neck depth for the back I'm using is 0.75. I mark it here. And I'm going to connect this line. So you can use your hand to connect it, or you can use your curve ruler to connect it. Next, the depth for my front is 2.75. I will mark it here. And I'm going to connect this to this. Next is your shoulder width. So from the center back, you take the measurement from here to here like this. Whatever that is, you're going to bring that here. So from this center, front and back, you're going to mark whatever that is, which in my own case is 8 inches. I'm going to mark it here. And I'll bring it down. This will help the curve of the halter neck that you're making. So it's necessary you do this. So I'm going to drop this line here and I will connect it. Next, I'm going to come down here 1.5 inches. And I'm going to connect this line to this line. On this line, the armhole line, I'm going to take round the bust measurements like this. Whatever that is, I'm going to divide that into 4. So you divide it into 4. And you divide it into 4 like this. So whatever that is what you're going to put here. In my own case, is 11.5 inches. I'm going to put it here. And I'll take this line down. And then I'm going to draw the armhole curve. But before I draw that, I'll take the measurement from here to here divided by 2. So from here to here divided by 2 is 3.25. I'll mark it here and I will connect these lines like this for the back. I'm going to connect the armhole curve like this for the back. If you don't have a curve ruler, you can come in from this. You can come in like this, 1.25, and you mark it and you use it for a guide. So this will be for the back. So for the front, I'm going to come in 1/2 inch and I'm going to take this line like this and connect it that way. So now we're going to cut this out. First of all, I'm going to be cutting out the back first. Remember, if you're working straight on your fabric, always add your sewing allowance as you're taking your measurements. But because I'm working on pattern paper, that's why I'm not adding any sewing allowance. If you know you will forget adding sewing allowance, always do it on pattern before you transfer to your fabric. So this would be for my back and this would be for my front. So I'm just going to cut this out. So this is the back and this is the front. Now we are going to be working on the front first. So what I'm going to do now is to decide the design of the halter neck line. Just come in any design you want and you connect it to the armhole like this. So I'm just going to come in like this and connect this line. So this is it for the back. I'm going to also do the same thing to the back. I'm going to also do the same thing to the front. So I'm just going to come like this. So I'm just going to come in like this and mark the halter neckline for the front. So this is it for the front and that is it for the back. So I'll go ahead and cut this out on my fabric. In my next video, I'm going to cut the high collar and also change the design of the front. So if you want to watch that video, make sure you watch till this end to see how to sew this halter neck. As you can, front and back are not the same. Can you guys see? So I'm going to show you how to sew this in the next video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification bell icon if you haven't done that already. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.